Hour outside of Palm Desert lies Slab City. Some say it's filled with drugs and sex. To others, it's an artist commune.
And as KMIR-6's ADRIANNA Weingold discovered, it's a world of runaways who just want to be left alone. She joins us tonight in studio. Adriana.
Well, Slab City really is a society all of its own. It doesn't conform to traditional rules. There's no official power source and no running water. The makeshift city has been plagued for years with a reputation of violence, sex, and drugs.
I sort of got run out of the rest of the world.
You can do whatever you want out here as long as you don't hurt yourself or hurt anybody else or break any of our stuff.
To the Slabbers, it's the last free place, a place without rules, without rent, and without repercussions, where many people go to park their troubled lives on the concrete remains of a World War II training camp, now known as Slab City.
It's very, very hot. There's scorpions everywhere. I personally killed 2 rattlesnakes here in the last 2 days, tried to bite my cat. The wind blows very, very strong. There's no water, there's no electricity. You have to supply your own.
But people still call this barren piece of the desert home. Some are runaways, others fell victim to the tanking economy. For Jack, 2 horses Martin, life in San Francisco was too expensive, so on Christmas Eve, he Googled how to live for free. He ended up in Slab City.
I like how it's out in the middle of nowhere, and I really don't mind the harsh environment at all. Kind of keeps a lot of people away.
It's a gritty dose of Great Recession reality. There's no running water or sewer system. The only electricity comes from the sun. And life off the grid also carries a less than favorable reputation, one of drugs, sex, and violence.
They believe that everybody has a shotgun and that we're living in some lawless society, and that's not what it is.
At 35, Redford had accomplished his dreams, but still wasn't happy, so he decided to take a 2-month hike. He ended up hitchhiking across the United States, and 5 years later, he's still coming back to Slab City.
Happiness is real easy, you know. If you're not happy, you don't have to stay. You can leave. But if you want to run with scissors, if you want to melt plastic toys, if you want to do any of those things that they told you couldn't do as a kid, you're allowed to do that here.
He lives at the Slabs part-time, looking after the artist commune known as East of Jesus. But others like Builder Bill have made these slabs their home base for more than a decade.
What I'm doing now is the first time I ever did anything that made a difference in the world.
Are you happy?
Well, anybody could imagine how things could be better, but I think, yeah, I'm pretty happy with myself and my life these days.
Happiness in a land that's desolate, harsh, and dangerous. A neighborhood where piles of trash become makeshift fences, bottles become walls, and people willing to risk a no-rules lifestyle can live freely. Now, when we got this assignment, we weren't sure how we were going to be welcomed, and most people wanted nothing to do with us. We did see some visitors at Salvation Mountain, which is just on the outskirts of Slab City, but they avoided the rest of the camp. It was certainly an interesting and unique place to visit. Gino, Elizabeth.
Adriana, did you see any kids living out there? And if you did, could any of them actually have been runaways with their parents looking for them?
You know, I didn't see any children that were noticeably children. There were certainly kids that were, possibly under 18. There was no way to really tell, but most of the people were older, more on the retirement end.
Okay, very interesting area out there, to say the least. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brian Schofield.